All right, so I was going to do another Spider-Man cash cow video because literally I would like to point out 6 Spider-Man books came out today. None came out last week, but let's put 6 out today. I, of course, bought most of them because actually, I got to be honest, most of them are really good. Life of Spider-Man, which is this one, is excellent. Symbiote Spider-Man, excellent. And then Amazing Spider-Man, excellent. And then I forget what the other one was. Oh, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, probably not good. But Tom Taylor writes it, so it's going to be a big dumpster fire, and it's going to be fun to make fun of because, well, Tom Taylor sucks. He sucks. So I thought it would be fun to kind of rag on that book and make fun of it. And there's also a Superior Spider-Man book that came out today, except it was a War in the Realms tie-in, and I'm not buying a single one of those books, so I passed it away. Technically, Venom, I guess you could put in a Spider-Man house book. That came out, another War of the Realms tie-in, so I passed on it. This book, however, is excellent once again. So we are getting one more issue, 2000s, and then I think that is the last one. And this is an interesting book because it has Spider-Man kind of being a little selfish, and it's weird to see him like that. He's not totally selfish, but at the same time, it's just like not something I would see him doing. However, this is still an interesting take on the history. So these books have taken the history of the character. They age him up. So he started in the 1960s. That's when he was a teenager. And now we're in the 90s and he's like 50. And he's still going as Spider-Man. He has an interesting suit too. It kind of reminds me of a Superior Spider-Man suit. So it starts off with him, like Dr. Octopus he wants to get Ben Reilly, who moved to Chicago and became the Red Mask, which is basically the Scarlet Spider. And Dr. Octopus shows up. He wants to study cloning because, he right now, currently in the books, he cloned Peter Parker and himself into one body. And it kind of fits that narrative. So he kidnaps Ben Reilly. And what was interesting in this book is they did the clone. This is basically the Clone Saga in a way. So he kidnaps both of them and he tricks them and tells them that Ben Reilly is the real Peter Parker and Peter Parker is Ben Reilly, which is a play on the original. However, it turns out that wasn't true. Peter Parker knew that was false and was the real one. And just like in the comics, when they undid it, they had Norman Osborn be the influencer in that. And that was a pretty interesting thing. But the difference between this and the old one is Peter gives up being Peter and keeps with the lie and tells Ben Reilly that he's the real Peter Parker and lets him have Parker Industries and the Spider-Man name and gives him the Peter Parker name. And he does this so he can go be with Mary Jane. Now, I said it's kind of selfish because he's lying to Ben so that he can go back to be with Mary Jane, who left him. He's going to stop being Spider-Man, basically, and stop running Parker Industries. My guess would be that Ben will give him a big stipend. And that's where the issue ends, with them coming back together. And I'm guessing he'll have a simple life at the end of the day. See, the next issue is the 2000s. I can't wait for it. That's going to be the final issue. So where this will all play out and end, I'm guessing he's probably going to get killed, probably by Kane, who has the Venom suit. That's where it left off on the last issue. So I'm interested to see where this goes, because this has been an excellent series. And like I've said before, I would love for them to do this, like make this a universe and go and tell other stories from the characters that were in this universe. I think that would be pretty interesting. You just do it in one shots, like not one shots, but like 5-issue series, like they're doing with this, maybe 4 if they died sooner, and just age through the characters in the Spider-Man universe. I think that would be a cool idea. DC does this a lot with their characters, like gives them, we're seeing it with The Last Night, like different universe stories. I would love to see Marvel do more of that instead of making 300 books all in the same timeline. Like, Spider-Man was in New Zealand last week. Oh, but this week he's in New York at the same time. Like, I never liked that. I think that is more interesting. That's one thing that DC's always done that I liked, was make like spin-offs and side stories that, you know, aren't attached to anything. So I would love to see more of this stuff. I really would. Anyway, that's it for this. Like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys on the next one.